You know, we really needed this. We really needed this. Did you watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? We really needed this. This is what they do. This is what Indiana Jones has been doing. So, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, classic, right? And then Temple of Doom, people were like, oh, what? Okay. And then they came back with the Last Crusade. Great movie. I loved it. I don't know how y'all felt, but I love that movie. That's actually my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Okay. Then they bring back Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's like, oh, what the? You got to do one more. Like, you can't end on that. Jesus. And so here we are. Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby Kuwait, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
Both recovering COVIDs. And so we just got it on Thanksgiving, and we are still in our recovery state. So if we seem loopy at all, now you know why. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, pretty please. Vote this sucker up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. And please comment below. Let me know what your favorite Indiana Jones film is. Here we go.
I miss the desert.
What?
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I miss the sea.
Oh.
And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
I don't believe in magic, but a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
The hats! The music! Oh my.
Oh my God. Wow.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
Related.
Get back!
Oh shit. Oh, what a good callback.
That's great. That looks cool. I'm very excited about this.
I enjoyed the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the trailer, I was kind of just like, my mind was just kind of blown because I had heard a lot of stuff about the fact that they had used de-aging for Harrison Ford in this movie. Okay. And so there was a bit in the middle of the trailer where I was like, oh gosh, like it looks like maybe they did a few shots or scenes or something where they went back in time because he looked younger, but I was just like amazed because it didn't look like de-aging. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just kind of really, really looking hard at it and going, wow, he just looks really good. But then a lot of the trailer, we're seeing him just kind of look his age, or at least I think that's what he looks like now, which is kind of like an older Harrison Ford, still awesome.
I haven't read anything about this at all. So you know more about this movie than I do. I didn't know about the de-aging factor. I thought those were just scenes from the old movies that they pulled.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because it looked so good.
If that's de-aging, color me convinced.
Yeah.
You know, because like, is that the phrase? Call me convinced? You know,
sure.
Whatever the thing is. COVID. So, I was convinced that was just like an old scene from another movie. So that's pretty good de-aging, you know?
Yeah.
There are some parts where he's like riding on the horse and stuff like that. You could tell it's not really him, or it's like green screen or something. I personally just accept that because, you know, he's older, you know?
Yeah.
But the man is still a badass because I remember just after The Force Awakens, they pulled him from a plane crash that he caused by accident because he was flying his own plane.
Oh yeah, like IRL.
Yeah. And I'm sure that right after that, he got back in another plane and started flying again.
He is like, that's what I love about Harrison Ford and what he brings to this character and like so many other characters like Han Solo and stuff. Like there is just something about his personality, this kind of like almost crabby sensibility that just is so charming and completely makes sense in this role. Like, I just enjoy him, and I enjoy all of the nods to the previous movies that they have in this, and all of the nostalgia with like the theme music and just the general look of it. And that last scene with the whip and the gun, I was just like, oh my God. Too funny.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's supposed to be the Indiana Jones movie to beat all Indiana Jones films, except for Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know there's a lot of purists out there who are like, no, that's the only, that's the best one, the first one.
It was really good.
Right.
Yeah.
But this looks like it's just like jam-packed full of like all kinds of adventure, which is par for the course with Indiana Jones, but it seems like it's taken it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
The car chase stuff and whatnot. I mean, the action sequences in the previous installments were pretty harrowing. Like, I remember, I think it was in the third one. Oh my God, my brain just fucking shut off. I said it earlier.
You did say it
earlier. The Last Crusade.
Yeah, there you go.
Where there's like a scene where he's on a tank of some kind, and there's a horse, and it's just like, there's a lot of crazy stunts and stuff in that movie. Especially for the time that it was being shot. Now there's like CGI, and it's easier to use stunt doubles and whatnot, and what have you. So it's easier to mask this stuff and make it even larger than life, but you sort of lose the reality of it a little bit when it gets so big. But when they were going through the town and whatnot, it looked real, at least
in that first scene with the car, the little cars and stuff.
Yeah. I think. Well, there was some car chases in there, and they looked good.
It did look good.
And so I hope that it all kind of, comes together in a way that feels like you're still in the throes of that adventure, and it feels real, much the same way that the old ones did, within reason, of course, because, again, Harrison Ford is much older than he was when he made the first 3 films. So, but it looks exciting nonetheless. And it was great to have, what's his name, Gimli? I forgot the actor's name. He's like 6'4" or something like that, and they chose him to be the dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was that tall.
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, it's great to have him back. It's too bad, Sean Connery can't be part of this. Not only because he passed away, but even if he was alive, he probably would have said no. So.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, at this age, with Indiana Jones being this old, I think it would be quite unbelievable that he would be having adventures with his geriatric father.
I would have paid $30 for the ticket to watch that movie. I personally would love to see that.
Listen, I have a soft spot for stories with older characters. Like, I love seeing anything with older people still being absolutely cool, being badasses. Not even necessarily being badasses, but still having stories told about them. Because like I always say, it's not like you turn 30 and like you die. Like, things are still happening. Life is carrying on. So I appreciate that we're getting an opportunity to see Indiana Jones once again. And it looks like it's Indiana Jones, but older, but still being cool.
Knowing that there's going to be flashbacks and stuff in this, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of action that takes place in the past that is sort of the Indiana Jones stuff off screen that we didn't get to see, in those previous stories or between stories and whatnot.
Yeah. Which
is probably, assuming that they get the visual effects right for the de-aging, which it looks like they have.
Yeah.
That's actually a smart way to go. I have no idea how they're accomplishing that though. If it's like, you know what I mean? Like if you have a double in there to be Indiana Jones, kind of like they had for, I don't know, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there's so many questions when it comes to de-aging, right? Because it's like, oh, you can use a double, and then you kind of have the Luke Skywalker effect from the what was it?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah. So, you have that effect where it just kind of seems weird. Or you do the thing where you have the actual actors doing it, right? But they're old, and so they move a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's hard to disguise that. Yeah, like in The Irishman.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what are you going to do? So I'll be interested to see how they do that. Maybe it's just used really sparingly so that we just kind of get that sense, but it's not used for like it's not used too much so that we start like really noticing it and picking it apart. I think that's the best way to use it.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I'm just wondering how much action is going to be from the past and how much of the story is going to be from the past versus the present. But in any case, it's cool to just get, at least one more film, and hopefully this makes up for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Who's it directed by? Do you know?
James Mangold. Oh, yes. Ford versus Ferrari and Logan. Both very excellent movies.
Yeah, I trust him.
Yeah.
I definitely trust him. I mean, it's too bad it's not Spielberg who's doing it, but I definitely trust him. So hopefully this is a good farewell to the character. Obviously, it'll be a love letter because presumably James Mangold is a Spielberg fan and grew up watching Spielberg just like all of us.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine this is going to be a love letter to the Indiana Jones series as a whole.
Absolutely.
So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jabby Kuwait. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.